Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Real Mentor. As always, alongside Carlito and Ramon, in hopes to enhance the movie watching experience because that's what good mentors do. This week is our review for The Intern, the news movie starring Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. You know, watching this movie, I couldn't help about the first time we met. Okay, well, thank you, Ramon, for coming today for the interview. Really appreciate that. Before we get started, do you have your resume there with you I can take a look at? Let me see here. Is that Florida? Favorite movie, Lake Placid. Favorite food, Captain Hook's Hands, Swamp People. Okay, well, everything looks good on the resume. You are aware before we go any further that this is an internship, right? So you will not be paid for this. Okay, good. Thank you, Ramon. Man, that was a long time ago. Why are you still here? So The Intern stars Robert De Niro again. He plays the title character, a 70-year-old retiree, widower, and he finds himself in a position where he's just bored with his life. He wants to feel part of something again. But one day he's walking by and he sees a flyer for a senior internship program for a small internet-based fashion company owned by Anne Hathaway. Of course, he decides, why not? I'll apply, and he does get hired and he gets directly assigned to work for Hathaway. Now, of course, Hathaway's reluctant, she's hesitant. She sees De Niro, this older gentleman who just is probably going to get in her way, and she does her best to kind of push him to the side. But, you know, De Niro is persistent, and eventually they do begin to work together, and they develop a special bond and a great relationship by the end of the movie. And essentially, this is what is this movie's biggest strength, or really its only strength, is the performances, not only of Hathaway, who, much like Carlito, I love, not just because she's a great actress, but because she's just so hot. And Robert De Niro, fortunately, he does a really, really good job playing this character. He's sweet, he's endearing, and you really care for him. He's like that typical guy you really root for and hope good things happen. Yes, admittedly, as much as I love De Niro, you know, with the exception of maybe Silver Linings Playbook and the small role in American Hustle, he's, for the most part, pretty much just collecting checks. He mails it in from time to time. In fact, I actually have a couple of performances with me that I've caught. The Family, Grudge Match, Las Vegas. But fortunately, he actually performs in this movie and does an excellent job. And Anne Hathaway also does a great job. She really brings out the vulnerable side to this character, who's also extremely likable. And it's when they're on screen together where this movie clearly shines. And I expect nothing less than two A-list actors that have really great chemistry on together. You really root for both of them. Anne Hathaway's character is also equally as likable as De Niro's, which makes this relationship even better. It's not a one-sided thing. The good thing is, this is not just a typical father-daughter relationship that they go through. It's more of a friendship. And by the end of the movie, you truly believe that, and it does a really good job of setting that. This is the reason, probably the only reason to really see this movie is for their on-screen chemistry. Having said all that, again, not a great movie. It's not a terrible movie, don't get me wrong. I find it hard to truly recommend this movie. It's billed as a comedy. It's not really that funny. A lot of the jokes fall flat. They try very hard and it doesn't really work. In particular, there's one scene where De Niro is trying to help Anne Hathaway delete an email, which seemed extremely out of place. The three scenes that I do remember being funny all center around Rene Russo's character, who plays De Niro's love interest. Other than that, the movie again falls very flat with the comedy. The third act, it loses itself a little bit. The circumstances, of course, heightened, but it feels forced, wedged in there. And unfortunately, like most Hollywood movies, you get that kind of happy ending, which I believe this movie would have been better served going the opposite route. And it was kind of building to that, and you kind of wanted to see that. As I said, it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. If you got nothing to do, it's Saturday, it's raining, you're bored, you can do worse than to go out and watch this movie. I think it's more of a date movie. Take your girlfriend out, take someone you just met, and hopefully you get that, oh honey, thank you for taking me out to the movie sex later that night. Everybody wins. But honestly, it's just a movie better served watching at home when it comes out on video, on demand, however you choose to watch it at home, snuggle up on the couch with your girlfriend, boyfriend, what have you. Ultimately, in the end, not a bad movie, not a great movie. So, The Intern, are you gonna watch it? Have you seen it? Comment below, let me know what you guys think. As always, subscribe below, and if you don't like it, subscribe anyway. Feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. And of course, you could always follow me on Twitter at The Real Mentor. Next week, two big releases. We got Sicario and The Martian, both movies which I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully I'll have the reviews for you early part of next week.